Hello there, thank you for joining me for That's the Way It Is. I'm your host, BC. If you haven't heard or haven't seen, I'd done a video a little while back about a little boy who was handcuffed to the front porch with a dead chicken tied around his neck. I thought that was just like the craziest story ever. But you know what? There's some light being shined onto that story, and it's gotten a little crazier than what we originally thought. It would appear that night that they would tie the little boy to a railroad rail. Yeah, you heard me correct, a railroad rail. So Wanda Sue Larson and Doreen Harper, both 57, over in Union County, basically tortured these kids that they had. They had a total of 5 kids. Now, one being a supervisor at the Social Services Department, which made it convenient, and the other one being a RN at the local hospital there. So by them being who they are, with their professions, it made it a little hard for anybody to really do anything to help these kids. Because here's what happened. It would appear that for a year, teachers have been trying to figure out what to do, because these kids were going to school dirty and hungry. Yeah, you heard me correct. They were going to school dirty and hungry. So now they were being tortured probably worse than anyone could even imagine. They're going to need therapy probably for the rest of their lives. I don't even see how they can even trust anyone. So that's pretty much an update, as far as what's going on with these kids. They're still waiting for their day in court. And I'm going to tell you what, I believe that people like this, that does this to kids, you're already locked up in jail, so it ain't like there's a whole lot of outside communication you got. But people like this just need a teetotal beatdown. I'm sorry, that's what they need. Now, what should have happened? Now, the teachers who were told, teachers who wanted to say something about what was going on, should have went over, the local social services department there. They should have went to the state social services department, But see, no one has ever been educated on what to do in situations like that. And that's the key to, everything, is being educated. That's why this country is in the shape we're in now. Nobody knew any better. They wanted a vote because they didn't agree with what Bush had done, So they voted the opposite way without actually knowing what's happening, and that's why we're in the situation we're in now, as far as the Obamacare, as far as what's going on overseas, as far as what's going on in the government today. Is people are not educated on what to do, and people are not educated to find out what they should do. People are too lazy to educate themselves. But getting back to it, my heart goes out to these kids, that have been abused and has been mistreated for so long. And you know what? I hope justice comes, for these kids, because I don't have any sympathy to anybody who's going to treat kids like this. So I think that they just need to be, I think they need to be tied to, a railroad rail and just get a beat down. I'm sorry, that's just what I think. I know that's not going to happen, but that's what I think. And the government is really, I don't know what's going on with them cats, because even though this here situation has it looks like it's being worked on, but you got to look at the law enforcement over in Durham County. They handcuffed the boy. A boy got arrested, got handcuffed, put in the back seat, and shot himself. Now he's handcuffed with his hands behind his back. How did this man shoot himself? It's getting to where you really cannot trust anyone, and you really can't trust the government. You can't even trust yourself being handcuffed in the cop car, and you can't trust social workers to do what they're supposed to, as far as kids go. So do I think the government needs to step in and make guidelines? No, I think the government's done enough. I think that a third party needs to be hired and looked into in situations like this, because, the government's going to look out for their own. Everybody knows that. Thank you for joining me.